morning. At least my voice is louder than you. First of all, I want to silent. You got the agenda, huh? The agenda.
You have one?
The first item on agenda is silent prayers. Can we get silent prayers? Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Good morning again. I want to take the opportunity to, first of all, welcome people who have come from outer states. I think I'm seeing different faces this morning. We are very delighted to have you, and it just shows the seriousness of which you attend to this meeting. This is the second one, and I want to welcome you all. Ebola business is serious. It has become a very serious affair. And from statistics, if you can go by statistics, the 1st of July, we had 26 discharge cases and 67 deaths. The 17th of July, I've not got the latest information, but the 17th of July, we had 89 discharge cases, then 124 deaths. So it's no joke. That's why we said we have to call you so that we can have a debriefing session. And the last time here when you came, we tried to offer some strategies and how to go about it and to make some impact from the American side. We talked about sensitization and of all community organizations. That's what we talked about it. Then we also talked about trying to bring about a person-to-person talk. You have to identify some important people in society. An ambassador, we had the good opportunity of somebody who just came from the blues and donated $5,000. It's not only enough to go to the churches, to go to the mosque, to tell them of what we are doing, but I think it's important for you to identify some important people in society. If you talk to them, I think that can also elicit some good response. So that's what we talked about. Also, on the embassy side, we said we will endeavor to open a bank account, and that we have done. We also talk about websites. I don't know how far we've gone about it. So, and the website is on, so that you can bring suggestions onto the floor. So we got some responses from many people. Some people try to give us some names of institutions, organizations. We were able to write to them all. We sent letters to many people, and some of them, they've not responded. But some, like the Peace Corps, they responded yesterday, and they just gave us some solidarity support, and that also is good. And they said they will endeavor to gather people back home. So that's what we are here to really make a debriefing session. Then later on, we go to the other item about the way forward, what to do, so that we can make an impact in Sierra Leone, because this is no joke. As the paramount chief the last time told us here, and he said, this, God forbid, is like rebel war if we are not careful, but God forbid. So let us try to do something from the Americans. I think we started this whole thing about meetings and so on. Some people in other countries like Britain And I think even China, they've gone ahead. So let us try, even if we are able to send something like a container. We know that some organizations like the FBU, the Gloma, they've gone ahead. I think even before the first meeting, they've managed to send some containers to Freetown, and that is very good. And I want to congratulate them for that. The president even mentioned Gloma in his statements. He's congratulating them. And that was good, because Gloma is mostly a United States thing. I don't know whether it's worldwide, but it's mainly a United States thing. So we are very proud of that. But all the same, we need to do something in a collaborative fashion, so that something can come from the United States. And, so in short, this is the situation. Tell us what you have done, according to what we have given the last time. I think we want to know before we go to the general aspect of it, something like the way forward. So this is the yes.
Thank you. Mr. Conte is actually the head of the Ebola response at the embassy, so that is why he's sharing it. I'm supposed to travel, but this meeting is very important for me. So I'll be here, but later on I will have to leave you. But let me just say that the Ebola crisis is an international crisis. It is affecting Sierra Leone, it's affecting Liberia, it's affecting Guinea, and of course it's affecting all the West African region. So it's an international crisis. And that is how it should be taken. That's why the World Health Organization has now in fact opened a sub-office, and they are there in full strength. And from the first time we heard about it, this embassy responded. We contacted people. We now have some money in the bank. We've opened a bank account. We've opened a website. We now have some money there. Even some Sierra Leoneans contributed in the last meeting here. Nothing is too small. And we'll take note of everybody who's contributing, and whatever we are going to deliver in Sierra Leone, we will make let people know that yeah, these are the people that actually contributed. What we did, we contacted the United States administration. They actually sent the first responders who went direct to Kenema. And luckily one of them was working already with the Lassa fever, so they had knowledge about this pandemic. So they were the first that are there, but some of them are very quiet people. They don't make a lot of noise. Up to last week, we had what's the name? Dembi.
Yeah, Dr. Ferry and Dr. Dembi.
Dr. Dembi, they went there.
Dr. Dembi.
Yes. They actually went there for 2 weeks to go and assess the situation. And they are coming back to report to the United States government. And apart from that, we've contacted other organizations there. Discipline also is helping us in that regard. There's this other lady who I have written personal letters to these organizations asking them to help us. The main things that are needed are gloves, sanitizers, chlorine,
garments.
These are most of the major things that they need now. Because the training is ongoing. They've trained a lot of nurses who are tracking the situation, but they need this because these are disposable equipment. So they need them as early as possible. So we contacted our community groups and the Sierra Leone community group to see what we can do. At that meeting, the government informed us that they are sending one container. They delivered that. There is another group, something Sierra Leone. They've sent 2 containers. That also is on its way.
California.
Yes, I've heard about that. The nurses there. Yeah. I think they get 20 million rooms. So we thought that actually this meeting is for us to be able to bang our heads together and get ideas as to what we can do as quick as possible. As an embassy, we have also donated half of our salary. I donated $2,000. Mr. Conte, I think it's 1,500. The deputy, and everybody in the embassy is going to do something, because we are not going to ask Sierra Leoneans to give something and that we don't give. So I've told them that everybody, however small, will be expected to give something that we can put together. Because who have this equipment in that quantity, we might need to ship them. So we can provide that funding to be able to ship them. So basically, we want your ideas as to how we should move, your contacts that you might have. We will take them down, and the embassy will write to all of these contacts and see how we can be able to get. So that is what Mr. Conte was saying, that is the essence of this meeting, so that as Sierra Leoneans, this is something that we never dreamt of. It happened in Congo about 30 years ago. We thought it was gone. Then it started in Guinea. It came to Liberia, and we knew that we are going to get it. But the government is fully engaged, and they have the support of all political parties. And for now, as we are talking, most of the heads of the political parties are in sensitization, because that's one of the most important problems that we have, for people to be educated that this is something serious and we have to take it like that. So if I can contribute, that's all. So
thank you very much.
That's what I wanted to say.
I just want to one information about what we have received. About 2 days ago, we received a carton of 1,000 gloves. And we have also made arrangements for the hiring of storage facilities, and also containers and so we are ready. If anybody has anything, just bring to the embassy, then we can guarantee to the store. Somebody that is very important. Can we self-introduce ourselves so that we can know ourselves? My name is Ibrahim Conte. I'm Deputy Chief of Mission in the Sierra Leone Embassy.
My name is Momo Takavandi. I'm the President of Tegloma in Washington DC chapter.
And where?
Washington DC chapter.
Ah, well, I don't suck.
Yeah, good Victor. I don't. I beat Victor. I beat Victor this time.
Francis Conte, that's a union / UMC Airport Sierra Leone Liberia Task Force in Airport.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. Charlie,
What are you students from that?
President, APC Washington Chapter.
I like that.
What is the Sierra? You don't tell well, community college students here.
You disappeared for so long. Why have you been?
I was traveling. That's why. I'm back now.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
This is Sierra Leone.
What's the name?
Well, say it. We are very proud of you.
Ahmed Carmel, Sierra Leone Community in New York.
Omar Rusita Toure, former editor of Awareness Times newspaper and the New People newspaper.
Pastor Temple Information. Yeah, so thank you very much. So, something, oh yeah. Thank you. Long time, man.
I was traveling on that.
Okay. Yeah, so this is it. It's not something.
I think we missed someone.
Oh. Okay. So the child are not enough.
Oh.
Anybody else? Okay, welcome. Yeah, anybody else? Okay, thank you. So, this is the issue. We identified some strategies last time, like I just told you. We just want to know what you have done or what you intend to do. And have you been contacting people and the prospects and so on? Can we hear from you?
From Tegloma, I just want to make some highlights of what we have done and what we are doing and what we intend doing going forward. When we heard about the outbreak of the Ebola virus in the region, we were very concerned because we have people in our membership that are knowledgeable about this kind of viruses and contagious diseases and how they can easily spread. My Secretary General, Mr. James Tennessee, is not only a medical doctor, but he's an epidemiologist, has worked with Iowa Department of Health for a couple of years, and he's very knowledgeable. So we sat together and brainstormed that we should respond immediately before you even get to Sierra Leone. And when we heard that the first case was reported in Sierra Leone, we decided to mobilize our membership to contribute so that we can respond appropriately. And we first of all called the Deputy Minister of Health, Mr. Fudi Sawi, the only member of government whose number was available to us at the end. And we asked him to give us an update of the situation on the ground. And he told us that they need materials, equipment. And we say, okay, well, we can raise money from our membership and we can send it directly to you so that you can secure the materials. And he said, honestly, some materials we cannot purchase from Sierra Leone. So if you could help us send those materials to us, I will be very grateful. So we cannot buy them here. Even if we have money, we cannot get them. So on that basis, Washington DC chapter, Tegloma is, let me just say, Tegloma is a very large organization. We have chapters in about 23 states in the United States, and we have one in England, and we have 2 in Canada, we have 1 in the Gambia, and we have 2 in Sierra Leone. So it's a global thing. So we talked to the chairman of the federation. When we all come together, we form a federation of Tegloma organization. We talked to the board chairman, the board of directors have a chair, and is the most senior official in the organization. And the federation chairman is the administrative head of the organization. We called them and told them, this is why Washington DC have decided, but it's very huge. We in Washington DC cannot take up this venture alone, so we want you to give us the backing so that we can do something. So the IMAC site is not a container, as the Excellency said. We did not send a container. I want to make that very clear. Why we did the IMAC?
But you made impact.
Yes, we sent the raised 5,000, gave us 5,000 since we initiated the idea, and Washington DC is the mother chapter of the Federation. They wanted us to act on behalf of the Federation. So we used that 5,000 to buy PPE, like the Excellency was talking about. We bought mostly gowns, surgical gowns, we bought face masks, we bought goggles, we bought gloves, we bought shoe covers, and all those things that we use. Minister even told us to help with chlorine, but we told them we could not buy chlorine. Thinking about the security implications. So we could not buy chlorine, and the money is very small to think about all those things. So we just bought those items, and we wanted those items to get there as quickly as possible. So we wanted to freight it rather than ship them because of the magnitude of the situation. So what we did, we were looking among our membership who was traveling so that we can give all the items, we can buy them and put them on the flight to Sierra Leone. Unfortunately, we didn't get any of our members around this area that was flying, so we got somebody else outside our membership that was flying. We were at the whole weekend we were at the airport looking for people that can help us take their items and we'll be responsible for their excesses. And that's what we did. We transported everything to Freetown. Fortunately, the parliamentarians from the areas affected were very effective to come and collect the thing and took everything to the Minister of Health. And the Minister of Health, I think, called a press conference to let people know what Tegloma did and how those items were going to help to save lives. I think that's what we did. But since then, we have instituted a medical task force team. I mean, composed of mainly medical doctors and people knowledgeable in dealing with these kind of situations. So they have worked on a talking point. And they will be talking, I think they have started talking on the radio in the areas affected, educating people about the disease or the virus and how to prevent themselves in treating their sick ones or loved ones who are affected by the disease, and how to take care of the dead, people who die, so that they themselves dealing with this situation will not be infected. What we are fighting to do is to spread to cut the chain of the spread of the infection, to contain it. That's what this containment, that's what we intend to do. As I speak to you, I have boxes of this PPE, I mean personal equipment, personal protective equipment in my kitchen. I think one of the representatives went from here when and saw those items. But from the embassy. Tegloma is a non-profit and it's a non-political organization. And we mainly run our organization from contributions from our membership. And we would love, I personally would love to transfer those items to the embassy. But I will be limited by the mandate that the membership should give to me to do it. Most of the items were those we bought that we could not send because we didn't have enough money to send. Some of the items were donated by people who are not even members of our organization, but because when we have functions, we tell the public, this is the situation in our country, and this is the dangers that our country is exposed to if we don't do anything. Doing something is far more better than doing nothing. So people think they bring one box of blood, people bring boxes of blood, and I have those items. I have them in my kitchen. My wife cannot even get to the back of the kitchen because the item is very well over the place. In Tegloma, I will, in our meeting, maybe monthly meeting, next monthly meeting, first Sunday of August, I will tell them if we cannot take our money to send the item, let us give this item to the embassy. I will suggest that. If they say yes, I will call and try to get in contact with you to see if you can. If they say no, then I will still let you know. And if Tegloma is going to undertake that, you want to do it independently, I will let you know. So that's all that.
Yeah, thank you very much. Something has emerged from what you have just said, these elements of emergency. Because I thought you sent a container. The way you did it, I think is admirable. You see, so containers, I think that's not the only way of dispatching materials. So, you want to say something?
Well, you gave me a task the last time. You wanted me to say the
yeah, the video, yeah, that's the video. Yes.
Yeah, so the last time after we had the meeting, it was said that in order to have the message sent in a more global way, we need to have a website. We need to have a presence online in terms of Facebook and other forms of communication. So after we had the meeting in 2 days' time, we had a website up, Ebola Pandemic Relief Sierra Leone.org. Ebola Pandemic Relief Sierra Leone.org. I actually sent this information to all of you. I did. I sent any email that has
Can you repeat it? People want to take it down.
Ebola, pandemic, relief, Sierra Leone, .org.
Okay.
We had to have it that long because just about everybody has a website for Ebola now.
Okay.
So we had, I did the website myself. So the website was done in 2 days. We sent out information. We have what do you call it, Twitter account. We had Facebook account, and we had a campaign, T-shirt campaign from Booster.com. The campaign, if you don't want to worry about all of that, is on the website as well. What I did was, we had a website that we created, a T-shirt that we created that had to do with Ebola. So if you go into that site, what you can do is you click on it. T-shirt is just $20, but you can donate any other thing that you want to donate. So you click on the T-shirt, you can just buy one T-shirt or more, or you can just give any donation that you want. And when you're done, there's a link there with the Facebook if you already have the Facebook account, so you can actually share it with your friends. So we have the website that was done, and I actually sent it out as much as I can. If you don't have it already, please let me know, and I'll send out an email again after we're done here, so you can have all of them together, so you can click on any one of them and go where you want to go. But we have the Twitter account ready. We have the Facebook account. And I took some pictures and things like that, and I tried to put some information as much as I could possibly find, because we don't want to give reports that are not correct. So the website is also ready. Now, we have PayPal that is connected to the account, as Ambassador said. There is an account already that is created. Now, with the T-shirt, we're not paying to have it in, but any donation that we make after the campaign, they will just take the full amount and make it for the Ebola relief, and the money will come to the embassy, and then we will dispatch it if necessary. So we have all of those things ready, and again, I sent them out, and if you don't have them already, because I sent a blast email that on behalf of the embassy, we have this link available, so we can do that. Unfortunately, sometimes we sit down, we talk about it in class, and then when you start telling people to actually physically do the donation, nobody actually does. So I was very disappointed to see after, because as soon as you guys had the meeting, 2 days later the site was up, the campaign was up. I was able to take 2 days to create all of these things.
But you came to the embassy and
yeah, we came here, with the information cache over there, and we sat here, we finished everything, we sent it out. Nobody donated it. We accepted. Sure, no problem. Yeah, so we just need to talk to people about it and actually physically do something, because sometimes what we like is we think somebody's going to come and rescue us. It's not coming. It's just us. So unless we physically actually do something about it, it's not going to happen, because I remember the last time the goal was to have us as a group to do something that would be more meaningful, as opposed to one group sending something and one person sending something. So the embassy charter, we all need to have our different organizations, or for us as a group to come together so we can have that, strength, so that we can do something bigger, as opposed to one person sending a box of love and somebody sending a jacket. Now that they're not having to work together, so that we need to make a bigger impact. So we still have the time, hopefully. After here, we send back the information this time around. People will do something about it and pass it on. I mean, sometimes it's not about, if you cannot do it, maybe you know somebody who can do something about that. So it's about just sending out the information so you can get it done.
okay, thank you.
Bernadette, either myself, Bernadette Kamara, or anybody,
before I make my contributions, I want to, we are media people, and you want to tell me that he was looking over my shoulder in one of the newspapers.
Oh, yeah, tell us your boss.
No. I want to tell my sister, I want to ask you a question, first of all, if the site is an OSC site, Optimum Search Engine site.
yeah.
And if that is the case, I have not got it, because when I Google Ebola, that website does not come up. You have to check it again. And the other thing I want to suggest also, the name of the website is too long.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that people are not bored with what they want to do, so that they can get there quickly and go to what their daily job. It's not going. Some people cannot. I cannot see well without glasses. So at times when it is dark, my kids are around me. I just want to do something very quickly and get the information I want to get. Maybe that is the reason you've not seen contributions, because people have not seen. People may not have seen. Let me say may in inverted commas.
Technical now. Can you?
Yeah.
No, it's not technical, sir. What happened is this. I understand exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what I did on the email? I didn't even just type the stuff. I sent the link themselves. So you click one and you're there.
I did not get the email.
No, I understand, sir. I'm going to resend it.
If
I'm
say
saying
I
that's
want
what
to just search
Can
it.
we rectify the situation?
No.
Say-
The reason
Well-
is, sir, there are lots of
Yes.
websites.
And we had
Lots of
decided
websites.
there.
I went on and
That
actually
was my
searched.
perspective.
And remember that all the other countries that also have been affected, they have different groups.
Yeah.
And different countries also have the site, and the different groups also
Well,
have
let us
the
find
site.
a way of
Okay,
identifying
that's
how
just a
we-
contribution to whatever
No,
the media.
What you said
Because
makes sense, but
that's-
that's the
Let
reason
us-
why.
Because that is my profession. That is just what I want to contribute over there. Coming up to the Ebola and contributions to what I've seen some lapses somehow. I am Sita Toure again, former editor of Awareness Times and former editor of New People newspaper online. There may have been diversions which I have really rejected. Thank God you have somebody like Pasco Temple in this embassy that has been able to inform people like us to come and contribute to these types of things. And this is what I want the government over there and its other entities internationally to attack. To make people know that this is Ebola, this is a sickness. And it is a sickness that has come not because of
Can
the
we
negative.
grab that for the next item?
No, that's a contribution. Not
We want to
because.
know what we have done, you know. Yeah, what we have done. This is very important. I mean, and the way
It can,
forward.
Mr. Conte, it can be embarrassing to divert what I want to say, even if it is important. You may not have known how important it is. And cutting me off is telling me what I want to say. That
No, that's not the essence.
yeah,
We have an item about the way
it is
forward.
telling me that what I want to say is because I see what is being posted from other angles, especially the opposition. This Ebola stuff has been politicized, and therefore people want to make political gain in it. What we will want to do, or what I will want to advise everybody as a Sierra Leonean, is to make sure to use the media as much as possible to tell people this is an existing sickness that has befallen our country because of our neighborhood with countries that have got it previously. And for that reason, we should wipe people's head that says, na APC na next day na power, so me na SLPP, I don't care, the Ebola thing a lie. People are going on the ground to tell people that Ebola is not an existing sickness. It is a sickness that has been brought for political reasons or political gains. I was told before I came here from Sierra Leone, my informants, I pay money for them to them every day. And somebody told me that it is because of the money or the donations or whatever it is that is going to be given to the government that the government have said Ebola is an existing case in Sierra Leone. That is my contribution, first of all. What I have done as a journalist, I have used my journalist acumen to tell people who believe in me, especially in the opposition. Mr. Stephen will say I'm a SLPP journalist. I will tell them this, if you use as a political thing, will kill all of your people, and including you, and even those of us that are here in the diaspora. Because when my mother will die, I will go to Sierra Leone and bury that mother there. it is very possible that I will get encounter with the Ebola virus. So what I have done is to go. People believe in my writing. I have written through the, I don't know if you were looking over my shoulder, to write about how it should not be political. And that is the concept I want us to get. And that is the concept, Mr. Conte, I want you to put in use in you if somebody is contributing in stuff like this. Whether I'm saying nonsense or not, I want you to sit there, listen to me as a Sierra Leonean. Let me put my case across. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm John based on what the lady just mentioned. Yeah, based on what the lady just mentioned, I thought that similar to you already made a decision, or at least a recommendation for her to look into the possibility of getting both the country. So I thought that what we should try to do.
No, this was one of the decisions we took during the last meeting.
Right.
So when you were not there.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that in respect of what you had decided, probably what we need to do is to decide on how we should make that contribution. And I thought that our organization would also like to contribute, and not say. And so we would like to make a general contribution. Now, is it a contribution, is it in monetary terms, or is it in medical supplies? From what she has mentioned, it seemed like it would be much better to donate in monetary terms. If that is not the case, that's fine, but I just want a clarification so that when we plan to contribute, we know exactly what we should do. And I think that it would, because you mentioned that if we work together, it would be much better instead of doing it individually. I mean, we would like to do it individually, but because of the plan that is already in place, we would want to make that contribution with you, so that all of us will be seen to be doing the same thing at the same time. And so that's why I want that clarification. Should we make a contribution in monetary terms, or if it doesn't matter, should we donate all what we have to the embassy, so that the embassy can put everything together at the same time?
Okay, both. Because I mentioned in my introduction that we've made certain preparations. I mean, the embassy went ahead to make arrangements.